Hi, my name is Andrew Tan. Today, this specific video is a demonstration and also a little bit of live coding to demonstrate a Lambda serverless using AWS, uh, uh, combining what you see here, React, serving to CloudFront, deploy from S3 bucket, the static page, which run on the browser remotely, and also served through API gateway. Behind it, we will have two Lambda. One is to do the translation. One is to grab all the data you see down here. I'll demonstrate in a little bit. And then everything is persist, CRUD, and read and write to and from Dynamo. Look for my other AWS demo, which I integrate with Dynamo. I'm sorry, Cognito for login, logout, and also RDS relational Postgres. This video is strictly just these components. Okay, so I want to demonstrate the use of Kendo library grid, which we see here. Very extensive that you bring in, and it works. It pull and display data from Dynamo, so it's fully integrated, and also the Lambda to do the translation. So I just want to demonstrate, and now there are several ways to 4 different ways to do the serverless Lambda. And then just back up a little bit, there are several ways to do AWS on the cloud. One is to lift and shift EKS, EC2, Beanstalk, which basically you take your JavaScript monolithic and basically it scale it for you, but you deploy the whole your whole application on as an EC2. You buy a server instance and it will scale for you. That's the previous technique. The latest technique is completely serverless. So if you start from scratch, you actually it's best to go with serverless. So that uses Lambda. Lambda automatically scale for you, so you do not have to worry. You can write it in JavaScript, which I will show you. This technique I'm using is not AWS CLI, is not serverless CLI, so you don't have to worry about YAML and all those files. You just do everything purely JavaScript, and of course React for the front end or Angular for the front end. And right here I use Kendo. So yeah, just quickly, this video is not about Kendo, but like you see here, you can search for you and all this. You can do all this equal to, not equal to, all of that. You can do sorting. You all this thing. So this very rich UI you can bring in, and it will communicate with the Lambda in the backend, which I will demonstrate. So real quickly, the basic feature of this application, you type in So right here, I pick the language coming in is English, and I can translate to any of these languages. Let's translate it to let's say French. So translate, and then there you go. That's a French word, and then and it automatically enqueuing to here. So to translate some language right here. So you can sort it by timestamp to get to this right here. This is just basically a compilation of whatever you have put in here. I've just made up some example. You can do you can have a different smaller page. You can paging around. You're scrolling. You can do this, and oops. So you can do some little bit of scrolling when the table get big. It resize on demand. Yeah, so because the reason I demonstrate a table grid, because that's pretty much would be most application out there need some form of table. Okay, so all right, so let me show you the front end real quick, and then I'll proceed to show you the Lambda, and then I'm going to proceed to make some modification. All right, so the modification I'll discuss in a second. So this is the standard React applications. Okay, you can have a component and all of that, but since this is just a demo, there's no need to make it break it up into complicated component layer. So basically, what you have here is the top and the table, right? The top part, the input, and the table. And the table is basically these are called the grid, the Kendo grid. Okay, so and these are the different columns. Okay, so then you can style different columns, things like that. The Kendo what I want to show here is when you compile the Lambda in the backend, it will generate you for the URL that you can talk to the backend. And right now, just for quick, I just copy that URL, put it here so it know how to correctly talk to the Lambda. So that's it. Just one piece of moving here. But eventually, on CI/CD pipeline, you can put it into a config file. Okay, so basically standard React, use state. Okay, so I will make two call. Okay, one call is right here to get the translation, and the second Lambda call is to do the translation, so the Lambda return this, and then the second Lambda call is grabbing data for this table, so it's a get all, and this is a post to so that's basically the two Lambda will perform. And here is the call to the post. Okay, is to get the Lambda translation. This right here coming back here is translation, and then from there I also call the get all to automatically grab all the data from the table so that I can do a set, and this will be iterate through and display in the table. So that's pretty much it. Very straightforward. So that take care of the front end, and let me go ahead and proceed to show you the Lambda. Okay. So this Lambda, I have two Lambdas. One is to do the translation, and one is to do the get all the data here to display in the table. So as you can see, everything is done in TypeScript, JavaScript. So very straightforward. It's like programming, and you'd use your Visual Studio Code. Straightforward. So you don't have to switch back and forth. Program it under the CLI, all this under dashboard at all. So here are all the Lambda and CloudFormation. Here's the two Lambda that's already been deployed. And is this, if you click in here, okay, so you look at the code for this Lambda, okay. But this you would typically will never go into the dashboard, which is this new technique. So this is the code for the Lambda, so you can see the get all, insert, the Lambda here. This actually is this very same code right here. So normally you write out here, and then once you're done, you just simply command line deploy it. There is no YAML file, so that's no different from the old AWS CLI. So this is the latest approach. It's very clean, very you can start up, tear down, and redo and all of that very quickly. So you have another folder called infrastructure. So, okay, so this is equivalent to the YAML infrastructure the old way. So, but again, this is done in TypeScript, JavaScript. So this set up your Dynamo, okay, and then you set up your S3 and Lambda, and so all this script will be automatically start up and tear down your whole application. So it's very easy to work with, and you just check this into GitHub. So it's very straightforward to work with. All right. So and then this is the additional layer beyond the Lambda, called the Lambda layers, so that you can work with the this interface to the database right here, insert and get all. So it's the Dynamo to get the put the item, and then also getting all the item back. And right here is the heart of the translation. When you send in the input text, the language you're sending, the output language you prefer. Okay, so right here, so the source language you send in, the target language you want to translate to, and then this text right here is right here, and you then send it to this translate. The client translate. Client translate is under the AWS SDK that you bring into a package JSON. So everything is very standard in the way Node and JavaScript development. And then you get the result right here, which is this French translation is right here. And then after you send it, you get a result and you return it back. So that's straightforward. Now, just to show you how easy to make build the code, and I'm gonna go ahead make some modification to code, both the back end and the front end. So one way to do this is, let's say you translate, please translate to I have a bunch of sentences here that would translate to a language, but when it translates back, it won't sound right. Say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. It's raining dog and cat, feeling under the weather. You break a leg, things like that. Let's try it's raining dog and cat. See if that translate back and forth correctly. So right here, it's raining dog and cat. Let's say translate to French. Okay, and let's put it in here. You put French in here. And go back to English and see if you get the original meaning. So it's raining down cat, so it is fine here. But let's say I want to automatically translate over and back for me. So let's modify the code so that it would tag on the translation back, and then I can compare. And let's create another column here in the Kendo to demonstrate the Kendo that it is display true or false. If it's true, it's able to get back the original meaning. If it's false, if it sounds completely different. So that's just something that's something to do. All right, so let's start on the back end, the translation, to go ahead and translate this back to the original language. Okay, and then I'll proceed with the front end. So let's work on the Lambda. Okay, so this is where there's a translation. So we want to copy this line again, and then basically stick a number 2 in the back so that we do translate back and forth. And then tag it on, concatenate it, and see. So right here is we have a second translation. Okay, all right. And then so since the source language, it becomes a target language, right? Because now we in the target language, it becomes the source language. Now we swap things around. Okay, and then the translated text, so the translated command, the result right here, right? The result that comes out here, this one actually should be up here. So I take the result out here, and the result, I want to take the translated text. So this result 1, and here's the result 2. So this result 2 is the one that translates back to original language, and I take the result plus. Okay. So I want to modify the translated text and make it result, which is the first translated text, and then I can concatenate. Just let's do this arrow thing just to show that and then the result 2, remember we want to translate that, and of course this also calls translated text. So basically I have concatenated the extra layer here. Okay, so this take care of the back end. Okay, and now let's take care of the front end, and then we test it out at once. All right, so we want to add a column in the back here with true or false, if this portion is equal to the original translated text. So let's go back to that columns. Okay, so here are the columns, and here is some logic here that we can borrow. Okay, so we want to stick it the column at the end. Okay, and all right, so let's format this document. All right, so here is the column that we could work with. Okay, so the cell here, so this is not what we want. And let's call the column, the field here a reversible. Okay. All right. Okay. And then yeah, we still want it to be 150, maybe it's fine, just a short one. All right. So we want it also the cell coming in, we pass it in, and let's see, I'm gonna pause the video here and just type this in real quick. Okay, so basically this is just taking the portion before after the arrow, and then strip and make it lowercase, remove all the spaces so I can do the comparison. So what I want to do is the display text, which is equal or not equal. So let's do this. Let's compare these two texts. Okay, so if it's equal to this, okay, this AI already do it for me. Equal, not equal. All right, so display text here, that's all I want to do, is just display equal or not equal. Okay, yeah, so you see here I'm basically taking the second part of the concatenation member on the back end, and then basically strip out all the spaces and remove all the punctuation and just compare the when I say it's raining dog and cat, it's just basically all the character without the spaces, so it can compare correctly. And also do a 2 lowercase, so I don't error out because of the uppercase lowercase. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's run it. So I just want to show you quickly. Just take care of the back end. So that take care of the back end code, and let's go ahead and compile and run the front end code. So okay, so the front end is deployed. All right, so let's try something. All right, let's try Spanish. All right, so it's raining dogs and cat. It's raining dog and cat. So that's equal. Okay. Actually, it's not equal. It's raining cats and dog, and when you translate back, it's, I guess Spanish they reverse or something, and it reversed the dog and cat, so it's not the equal anymore. So right here you see it's not equal. And yeah, so let's try a different language. Let's try French, see if it's equal or not. It's raining dog and cat. Yeah, so it's the French right here, and it is equal because it's exact. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I want to show you so this is what the Kendo library looks like when I use it on a different project. Same thing, same library, Kendo library. This is actually a library, but it's Angular, so but yeah, React Angular. It doesn't matter when you come to use Kendo. Yeah, so this you can filter, you can sort all of that. So you know you have all of that with AWS serverless, so it doesn't matter. This is ported onto AKS, you know, so it's different flavor of AWS. Cloud formation, let's refresh. So here is the stack. Okay, so you don't have to actually go in here do anything at all, because everything, like I said, the approach I did is everything in JavaScript. So you don't have to worry about these kind of things. But if you want, you can go in, take a look. So you have here two lambda, you can drill down, like I did over here, the S3 bucket, the policy, all of that. Yeah, so you have everything here. So here you drill down to the lambda, it's all there, and the gateway is here. And then the dynamo, we were looking at it. Explore tables. Yeah, so everything we type in, that everything we saw in the table here is all yeah, everything in the table here is all still here. So if you click here, you see it persists everything. So it's running dog and cat in the target text language, all of that. So everything is here. And then yeah, you can clear them out. You debug. Time flies like an arrow. Yeah, I translate the other language. Okay, so and then yeah, so and then also you can also do the CloudWatch. So everything is still there on the log groups. You go on the log groups here. You should be able to trace all the call. So yeah, typically I usually clear them out, so it'd be easy to find out what debug the message. So right here, yeah, it's showing all the payload coming back for all the right here for these coming back. So yeah, it's all here for debugging using CloudWatch. Yep. So this is what I recommend these architectures to use. Everything in JavaScript, both the front end, the Lambda, everything is you just yeah, write it in JavaScript. Check in, check out like your normal code, and deploy and clean up is fairly easy, just one command. Yep, architecturally, this is the approach I would recommend for serverless solutions using AWS. And also, you can use Kendo. You can use React or Angular plus Kendo library or material. But yeah, I recommend Kendo is good too. All right, so thank you.